Hey guys, this is Mr. H. Hey, I created a Delta Math assignment and I'm going to do one of the examples. So there's 4 types of questions. So I'm going to do one of each. I'm going to try to do this quickly. So first one, let me see. All right, so it says they want us to use completing the square to solve the quadratic formula. They want us to say, which number would we have to add in order to complete the square or to make a perfect trinomial? So let me take a picture of this real quick. All right, and let's go. So here is the equation. I want this in red. X squared plus 15x plus 25 equals 0. Subtract 25 from both sides. So we're going to have x squared plus 15x equals a negative 25. Now here's the key. We're going to take the middle term. Now this is an odd number. So we're going to do 15 divided by 2. That's going to be 7.5. And then we're going to take 7.5 and we're going to square it. So just use your calculator because I don't think you guys can multiply this in your head. I know I can't. Some numbers I can, but this one I can't. So let me go get my calculator right here. I'm going to do 7.5 squared. And I get 56.25. So that's what I'm going to add to both sides. I'm going to add, move this over a little bit. I'm going to add plus 56.25 plus 56.25. And that's all we need. That's the number that we would add in order to make this a perfect square. Now, so if I go to, let me get rid of this. 56.25 is what I got. 56.25. Oops, not 2825. Submit it. All right, that's right. Okay, so whatever the middle term is, the linear term, you take half of it, and whatever that number is, you square it. That's what you're going to add to both sides. All right, let me go, and I'm going to do another type of question. So let's go here. Let's see what we got. I want to see the problem. Let's go. See the problem? Come on now, see the problem. All right, so here it is. What we're going to be doing for this one is we're going to add the term to make a complete perfect square, and then we're going to get everything on one side, all the constants on one side, and then we're going to factor it. All right, so let me show you what we're doing. Let me take a picture. Bop, bop. Got it. So now what I'm going to do is I'm going to subtract 205 from this side, subtract 205 from this side. So this is going to be 0. I'm going to have x squared minus 4x equals. And now all I'm going to do is 9 minus 205. What do I get? Negative 196. So this is a negative 196. So now I'm going to take the middle term, negative 4. I'm going to divide it in half. So that's going to be a negative 2. And then I'm going to square it. So that's going to be a positive 4. Now, remember, I'm going to go ahead and show you this. You got to square the negative. You got to put it in parentheses. You cannot. So that's, if you just do this, a negative 2 squared, it's going to give you a negative 4. And that's not what you want. So don't do this. Make sure if you have a negative, when you divide the coefficient in half and you get a negative number, make sure you put it in parentheses. Otherwise, it's going to mess things up. All right, so let me go ahead and finish this. So we're going to add 4 and add 4 here. So then this is just going to be x minus 2 squared. I'm taking that. That's how we get this. And then it's going to be a negative 196 plus 4. So that's going to be a negative 192. So that's what we're going to do. So if I go here, if I go here, and let's enter it. So this is going to be x minus 2, x minus 2, and this is going to be a negative 192. I think that's what I had. Let me submit it. All right, and that's right. Okay. Let me do another question. There's 3 types. So this one, I'm going to actually complete the square. I'm going to complete the square. And what am I going to do from there? I'm going to complete the square and I'm going to solve it. All right, so here. So what I'm doing now is I am going to subtract 60 from both sides. So I'm going to have x squared minus 16x equals a negative 60. And then I am going to take half of the middle term. So that's going to be a negative 16 divided by 2, which is going to be a negative 8. And then I'm going to take a negative 8 and square it. That gives me a positive 64. So that's what I'm going to add to both sides. So now this can be factored. X minus 8 squared equals a negative 60 plus 64 is going to be, what is it going to be? It's going to be a positive 4. So now we're going to take the square root of both sides, bop, bop, and this is going to be x minus 8 equals plus or minus 2. If you take the square root of 4, you get plus or minus 2, and then x is going to be 8 plus or minus 2. So our 2 answers is x1 equals 10 and x2 equals 6. Now, for these, you should try to use completing the square. But remember, since all they are interested in is the answer, you could graph these and come up with the same answer. All right, but just for practice, you should try using completing the square. So the 2 answers are 10 and 6. So let me go there and I'm going to say 10. And then where's my other solution? My other solution is 6. Submit it. And very nice. All right, I got one more type of question. Now this one is irrational. So that means we've got to leave the square root part. We can't calculate it. They don't want decimals. They want you to leave it as a square root. All right, so let me take a picture and then I'm going to solve it. And this will be the last one. So here, I'm going to add 3 to both sides. So I'm going to have x squared minus 8x equals a positive 3. Then I'm going to take the middle term, the negative 8, and I'm going to divide it by 2. We're going to negative 4, and then I'm going to square that. So that gives me a 16. So I'm going to be adding 16 to both sides. So what I got here is x squared. Oops, it's not what I wanted to do. Now, so this is a perfect square, and I can factor it. So it's going to be x minus 4 squared equals 19. 3 plus 16 is 19. And now to finish this up, take the square root of both sides. This is going to be x minus 4 because that cancels. And then it's going to be plus or minus the square root of 19. Now my answer is going to be a positive 4 because I got to add 4 to both sides. This is going to be 4 plus or minus the square root of 19. And that's what I'm going to put in here. So I can delete this. And I'm going to put in 4 plus or minus the square root of 19. Submit it. And it says wonderful. All right, so most of these are basically the same. The only one you got to, well, they're all the same. You just have to be careful when it's the square root. When the part in there is not a perfect square, they don't want decimals, so you've got to make sure you leave it as a square root. All right, I'm going to sign off and post this.